The economy. Hey, what's going on? It's kind of like a healthy 80-year-old. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Will you die? Will you have a stroke? Will you take up jogging? Will you find a girlfriend and kind of get armors? What will happen if you're 80 years old? And that's the economy that we're in, and I'm nervous. So I called my stockbroker just yesterday and I said, what should I do? Should I invest in silver and gold? What should I do? Can you please give me a recommendation? And he said, hey, Brian, if these liberals remain in power much longer, the only thing I can suggest is you buy liquor, ammunition, and canned goods. That's your best bet. Santa Claus, he's kind of got a good idea with regards to all of his money. Somebody asked him recently, they said, what do you do with all your cash? He said, hey, I put it in the snow bank. Okay, we have a refugee thing going on now in Canada and in America. And Canada has a major impact on America because you have a kind of a moron running the country up there, pardon me, but he's saying, bring them on in. We're not going to give them any tests or anything else. We're going to give them a check and a shirt, and we're going to pay them twice as much as what our people get here that are on welfare and or pensioners, because we like to help everybody. We're going to bring in maybe 100,000 next year. Just line them up at the airport and the boat, and over they come. And so what if they're all 30-year-old men who look strong and they look like warriors? We're going to say, you're a refugee and we're here to help. Okay, now let's flip over to the United States of America. You think you got issues on the border in the south? What's going to happen up in the north? Trudeau, get over it. My goodness gracious. I mean, you can't do stuff like that. Firstly, you need to look after people at home. Don't bring people in from other countries. That's another part to this, but I'm talking now about the security of the border. It's a bad thing. If you got a good neighbor, you don't fill your house up with bad people so they make noise and party all night long because your neighbor gets upset, and then pretty soon the people that are in your house go over and start stealing things from the neighbor. You know the routine. It's just not very nice, and for heaven's sakes, get out of it. Come out of the ether. Church security in America, and soon to be in Canada too. It's a big issue because recently in North Carolina there was an issue where a bunch of people were actually killed in a church, and there's all kinds of other stories as well. So now there's a group in California, Northern California, that's saying, hey, we're going to teach people how to shoot guns, get you a permit, you can pass the course, or pass the test rather, and we'll all be happy and God won't mind, because it actually says in the Bible you're supposed to look after your neighbor, so we're going to help you do that. What a great thing. And they've already put 800 people through their classes, and that's just really, really cool. The more concealed carry permits that there are, the better it is for the good guys, and not so good for the bad guys, because they look around and say, hey, my job security is kind of at risk here.
For 7 years, Jeff Peabody has been teaching his fellow church members, teaching them how to use firearms.
I've never have held a handgun before in my life, and I wanted to be comfortable with it.
He says interest in his class has been growing among the faithful as they feel a need to be prepared in case of an attack.
We need protection. People that go through classes and, get licenses and stuff to carry a gun, I feel that, we need this in our lives. We need it in church and our businesses.
Peabody starts training in a classroom where ministers learn about safety. Then they move over to the shooting range to get hands-on practice. The instructor tells me the purpose of the class is not only to teach people how to shoot a gun, but also to interfere with someone trying to shoot it.
Grabbing the cylinder and keeping it from twisting. You're not able to continue squeezing the trigger. One person that takes the training in this class, if they never touch another gun in their life, they can still interfere with a revolver or a semi-automatic and make it stop operating.
Over 400 ministers have taken the introductory handgun class, but even within their churches, not everyone is supportive of the idea of people carrying weapons at church.
Many people have a problem with somebody in ministry, or even a Christian in general, having anything to do with firearms. But firearms are just firearms, and what is done with them is up to the individuals who use them.
The ministers say the idea is not for everyone to have a gun at church, but they believe the more they know about weapons, the better equipped they will be to respond to gun violence.